fans in the tunnel. Liverpool still looking for their first win of the season. There could hardly be a better place to get it. There is no one more committed to stopping that than their next-door neighbours. It's the Merseyside derby, direct to your screens right after the break.
It's Goodison Park for the 169th Merseyside derby between Everton and Liverpool. It's a game that Kevin Ratcliffe says Liverpool cannot afford to lose. We're interactive. Press the red button on your remote for access. Have a listen to the fan zone. Should be particularly entertaining today. And player cam for the first 15 minutes, of course, concentrates on Micheal Owen. What a great noise. Here's Andy Gray and Martin Tyler.
Everton's only win in their last 11 encounters with Liverpool was refereed by Mike Riley. It was 4 years ago now at Anfield. History rather weighing heavily on Gérard Houllier's shoulders. No amount of cup, and remember, he has won 6 of them in the past 3 seasons. Seems to compensate for the lack of the league title. David Moyes for Everton has put together a team very much in his own image, organised, ambitious and plenty of drive. The sun is shining in the city of Liverpool. Which of its 2 world-famous football teams will feel the warmth? Long ball from Pistone. There's certainly height at the back for Liverpool, but not so much height up front for Everton. But Radzinski and Rooney, who were often competing for the same place last season, are mobile and maybe difficult to pin down. That would be an important area.
It'll be interesting with the throw, Martin. Only really Watson who's got any real height going into the area.
Pembridge offered himself for the short one, but the throw is in towards Steve Watson. That's at least one aim from it.
Yeah.
Make it difficult to defend and pick up.
Ball had gone out,
Mark, the corner, but it had actually gone out, as you say. And the assistant attracting Mike Riley's attention and mine to that effect.
Well, quicker look at Harry Kewell is playing left side. It's what we thought he would do. It's pretty much a 4 at the minute, Mark, in all honesty. I mean, whether they're saying to Šmicer, listen, early on, you know, don't be too adventurous. Let's just bed into the game. They're definitely going with a 4.
Micheal is good in the air and heads on well. Knocked away by Alan Stubbs, who's one of the local lads involved. Stubbs and Rooney representing the Scouse Nation for Everton. And you've got Carragher and here Steven Gérard, who are very much the local lads for Liverpool. And Naysmith came flying in. Cards already out. Inside 2 minutes.
Yeah. Well, he's got an important part, Mike Riley. Always worry about the referee taking charge of a game like this. He does tend to get a bit excited at it. This is late. Comes in. He's that late that Hadji Diouf manages to virtually clear the tackle on its way. Let's hope that that's the last. We'll see of cards and we're concentrating on the football.
Well, it was in many ways a different era with refereeing, but these fiery fixtures always seem to end with 22 players on the pitch. But in the last 6 years of Merseyside derbies, there have been 9 dismissals.
I think this referee sent a couple off as well, isn't it, Mark?
3.
3, is it?
Šmicer. Getting the sort of work that Steve Simonsen would like early on, a comfortable feel of the ball.
It wasn't a worse ball in all honesty. The Hadji Diouf played, they're just lacking in numbers. You know, it was fed in quite nicely in behind the back 4.
Baroš. Another challenge from a wide position that the referee might take exception to by Tobias Linderoth. Was just hurt a little bit earlier and Still seemingly in some pain around the right elbow. It's a free kick to Liverpool. Booted away by Pembridge. Slightly under-hit by Gérard. It's a rivalry that is warm and good-humoured for most of the year, but can be very wash-bish on the match day itself. They were pretty much neck and neck in the Premiership last season when Liverpool came here in April and won 2-1. Their third successive victory over Everton at Goodison. And on the strength of that victory, you could analyse it and say that's how Liverpool finished above Everton in the table. It's a strange difference between the two clubs. Everton finishing 7th and very pleased about it, almost overachievement. Liverpool 5th, the higher of the two clubs. Definitely an air of underachievement about that. But they did win the Worthington Cup. But rather like Manchester United in those many lean years between the late 60s and the early 90s, the expectation has always been to get the championship back at Anfield. And here's Watson, well read by Carragher.
Little turn, little shout from Baroš for Kuhl to turn, and he was right at the back four. Ball at his feet, plenty of space.
Rooney. Pembridge gets a foot in. Here's very loyal Evertonian, David Unsworth. Just took his eye off the ball there, and he's paying a bit of a price for it. Jude's got a chance to cross on the run. Led away by Stubbs, helped by Naysmith. Bišćan with the header. Šmicer.
Thought he might have gone on Diouf, Martin. Thought having skint David Unsworth, it could have gone on a little bit further. Maybe even driven into the box. He looked bright when he came on at Chelsea as a substitute. He showed this kind of form. Bad control, but look how quick he's on it. And then how quick he's away. And just now you think, go on, right into the box. You see what I'm saying? Right into the penalty area. Give them a problem. He never did anything to move Alan Stubbs. And that was the key to it. Stubbs was able to hold his position near post and clean it up.
Yobo's free kick headed away by Carragher. Pistone with a give and go, and he's worked that very well indeed. Partially away by Hyypiä. Watson and Pistone, that combination play catching the eye. In towards the near post where Rooney was lurking.
Well, he wants a corner. Mike Riley had no idea, blindside of this. It's a decent ball in and it's tempting for Rooney. Well, Bišćan might have got something on this, but certainly Rooney threw the leg at it as well. It was a defender. Could have gone anywhere.
Bišćan started this fixture in April, but didn't last much beyond this point in the game. Had to go off with an injury.
And that's the kind of ball that Radzinski and Rooney will need, mark from wide areas. In like that they can actually be moving on to, rather than challenging aerially for it.
Kevin Campbell is still unfit. Baroš. Typical tenacity from Naysmith. And from Everton generally in midfield. It's a driven ball by Unsworth. Rooney did well. Radzinski, well, it was bouncing up invitingly for the shot.
I think if these two can get the ball like that, those kind of areas, they've got enough about them to, as I said before the match, to really trouble Hyypiä and Bišćan. Rather wasted that. Normally a better striker of the ball than that, Tomasz Radzinski.
Well, Ian Rush and Graham Sharp. I know more about this particular clash than most people. Showing their views to the radio audience there. And now Radzinski, the flag has stayed down. It was Rooney's pass. Radzinski's away. Is he going to go for goal himself? He does. And it flashes beyond the far post.
Oh, what a chance. It's close. Bišćan stands up. Defenders who do this really are risking getting punished. Love the little run in behind. You can see he's not offside, man. The ball's played at dead level. If you're a defender, you cannot take the chance in holding your line like that if you're unsure. I think you should have done better. Work the goalkeeper at least. Because Rooney, not only has he played the ball, but look where he ends up. Right in the middle of goal. Turn anything across or off the goalkeeper.
Well, the 2 hours have begun very brightly. Will they get the right result?
I think if you're David Moyes, you could see him saying to the 8 other players, Martin, listen, work, graft, keep it at 0-0. Because with the 2 we've got up front, he would be saying there's a real chance that they can nick a goal. I think that's important for Everton.
Rooney is already the youngest player to appear in a Merseyside derby. He still has a chance, should he score today, to be the youngest goal getter. In all the years of these fixtures, 169th meeting, all of them in the top division. Reflects very well in both clubs. Here by Kuhl, has been moved around in various different positions. He certainly did, as Ronnie Whelan was suggesting, play behind the front 2 against Tottenham, but just a bit of tinkering in the midfield today by Gérard Houllier.
In many ways, that what might have added to their indifferent start, Mark. Not a settled formation. On the other hand, you look at Everton, know exactly what they're going to play every week.
They have a corner. And Pembridge going across to take it. And it's all back for Liverpool. Radzinski goes out for a short one. It's whipped in over him, and Gérard knocks it behind.
He did well. That's a decent ball. Yeah, 2 balls.
None will suffice. Different signal from Pembridge this time. Dudek concerned, he made a move but didn't get anywhere near where the ball actually arrived. It was defended well in front of him. Handed on by Pistone, not by Hyypiä, but as Pistone made contact, he was fouled, and it's a free kick to Everton, who stay on the front foot.
Again, good delivery required. But Liverpool are sufficiently big side these days, Mark, that they would be expected to cope with these. So it's going to take good delivery for Everton to find one of their own players here, but Pembridge has got that with his left foot, there's no doubt about that.
Everton is set. Pembridge takes. Too much. Very easy for Dudek. Waste the possession. Good handling by David Moyes. And a quick throw and a quick cross from Radzinski. Humbling footwork from Bišćan before he swept it away. And from Pistone again. Goal kick again.
I just think a little variation required at times, because I think Liverpool know who the target's going to be.
They certainly have begun well. As I mentioned earlier, the home side doesn't usually do well in Merseyside derbies. Just 3 wins for home teams in the last 17 meetings. Go back 6 years to find Everton's last victory over Liverpool at Goodison. 2-0. Young Danny Cadamarteri ran Liverpool all over the place that day. Finnan playing his first derby, of course. Gérard. And coming deeper to collect, allowed to turn. Diouf again giving width on the right-hand side. Turning Unsworth. And then planting it straight into Simonson's hands. Duncan Ferguson, I know you had a word with him before the game, Andy. He considered out through suspension. Until today, he is one of the Everton substitutes if you missed that earlier piece of news.
Yeah, good to see him fit, actually. Big man.
Pembridge, towering above Šmicer. Space for Carragher. Sure, it would have been spelt out to the Liverpool players, the need to withstand some early pressure. It would be venomous in terms of the vocal approach from the majority here, aggressive from those wearing blue shirts on the pitch. And they've got to stand that in the manner that Bišćan did just then, but they give the ball away, Liverpool in their own half. Unsworth with a diagonal ball, Bišćan's header.
Oh, we talk about the strength of young Wayne Rooney at 17, but Bišćan was certainly up to it there. It's a good little battle, that.
Well, the feeling here is that Rooney's still a little bit short of full match fitness. I don't think Charlton would agree with that, the nature of his wonderful goal in the second half at the Valley on Tuesday. Good point for Everton, that. Here's Linderoth. Unsworth.
Just got a little narrow there for David Unsworth. And Gary Naysmith, who might have given him width, was way infield. He really had nowhere to go.
Gérard just in front of the back four. With Radzinski a passing nudge. He's certainly got the range in his passing, Steven Gérard, almost like an American football quarterback in that position to instigate attacks. He needs to master the roll of the ball, which shouldn't be difficult on this very good early season Everton pitch. Bišćan thought he got a piece of the ball then. He certainly got a bit of Rooney.
Yeah, a little ball rolled in here, just a little bit of confusion there. Might have cost him, but again, Bišćan very, very close to Wayne Rooney when the ball arrived at him. I think what saves the Liverpool defender, what we talked about last time we were out, Martin, he was on his feet. Naysmith went to ground, and they do regard that as different, the referees. But a chance, certainly Stubbs or Pembridge capable. That's Stubbs' power.
And Pembridge.
Well, he looked comfortable enough, the goalkeeper, but he certainly looked close enough. Tries to come back. In a bad effort. Not a bad effort, just didn't start bending quick enough.
Dudek, who got that start of the season decision from Gérard Houllier over Chris Kirkland. And we shouldn't forget, from Liverpool's defensive point of view, they've kept clean sheets in the last two Premiership games. Gérard. Great vision and execution as well to find Owen. Buell coming in from the left-hand side. Back for Owen. There's a man over. There's Carragher on that far flank. Liverpool look the other way. Buell's cross. Liverpool corner.
Yeah, you're right. Micheal Owen had turned. Jimmy Carragher was in acres of space left side. But to work the ball quite well, Liverpool then. Start with Gérard way back in his own half. Worked the ball very well through.
Buell's corner. Can certainly run, Radzinski. Born in Poland, represents Canada. Pembridge. See Finnan letting it run. Finnan's former club, of course, were here last weekend, Fulham. And Everton beat them quite comfortably. They had many wins under David Moyes by more than one goal, but they won that 3-1. Free kick given against Stubbs. Šmicer working with Owen, who says he hasn't been really given the chances to show his great goal-scoring gifts, and he's not going to get one by the direct route there, but he might from a corner.
Well, Steve Simonsen, I think, was shouting and screaming at Unsworth to leave that. Gary Naysmith should have been helping as well. He was right behind the defender. There was no danger, drifting aimlessly out for a goal kick, but now, defender corner.
At the height of Hyypiä and Bišćan for Liverpool. Caught to Watson around the nose as he got it away, but I think he saw it late. He's back from Šmicer. And Micheal on his left foot. What a block. Steve Watson again. He wasn't reflecting on that facial injury a moment or two earlier. Hyypiä stayed forward. Sami Hyypiä. Harry Micheal.
That's a chance. He's won a penalty for the first one, I think. That's his argument. He's asking Mike Riley. Watson doesn't have. Now, this is what you call closing down, Martin. Now, does it strike the arm? Does he block it with the hands? He turns his back on it. There'll be a real harsh decision. But this is a chance. It's on his left foot, and it's bouncing, and it sits lovely. Watch this, Mark. Up it sits, hit it. And all he had to do, and I know it sounds easy, is keep it down and hit the target. He's good enough to have done that. It's a chance for Harry Micheal.
Coming 20 minutes into his first taste of this unique atmosphere. Well, he wasn't making the darting run that Gérard was expecting.
Well, they switched to here, Diouf and Micheal at the minute, Mark. Harry Micheal operating from the right, Diouf from the left. You know, as a quartet, take Gérard out of it and leave him where he is. The other three can be rotated all over the midfield, really, depending on what Gérard Houllier says from the side.
Baroš penalised this time. Player cam for you today. The Sky digital viewers, red button on the remote, and you can follow the number 18 on the blue shirt, Rooney. Trying to reach Watson's knockdown. He's such a great player to have in the squad, Steve Watson. He can play virtually any position. Scored a few goals against Liverpool in the past in his Newcastle career, and he's scoring goals for Everton this season. On target here against Fulham and against Charlton at the Valley on Tuesday. He is Everton's leading scorer at the moment. Pembridge. Easily shrugging off for Šmicer, and Radzinski's away because of that. Bišćan got to the ball. Mike Riley's pointing to the ball to diffuse those Everton appeals.
Great tackle. But again, it's the pace of Radzinski that caused the problem. I don't think it came down for him. He's a little unlucky. The run and the ball are first class, but it sets up a little bit after his first touch here. Look at it bounce up, and it just allowed Bišćan to stretch that long leg out.
There's absolutely no margin for error for Igor Bišćan. He gets that wrong, it's a penalty, he's off. And if he got it,
you sure?
Spot on. Yes. It's Liverpool's free kick here.
Well, he's going to take a quick one, but one or two of the Liverpool players are saying no, no, no. I think we want to have a look at it, size it up. It's a long way out, and they've put someone on the post, which I think is absolutely daft from there. Because if I was Liverpool players looking about now, I'd be saying, getting on top of the goalkeeper right in front of him.
Owen's thinking about that.
Well, you've got to do that, man. I'd stick Hyypiä in there, right in front of the goalkeeper, and then just make sure you play it into that area. You've got players there. I think that's... And yet no Liverpool player standing across the goalkeeper.
Gérard decides to play it wide to Hadji Diouf. Takes on Linderoth. And pressed into a touch that he didn't want to make. It would have been a corner, but he swiveled and knocked the ball out for a throw.
I think that was a waste.
It's just rather symptomatic of a team that's been a bit uncertain, certainly in results, and at times in performance. Throw and a long throw from Watson.
Oh, he must have stole 20 yards there. Phil Thompson's out in the touchline, absolutely furious.
And it's Pistone on the ball. Pembridge. Linderoth, he didn't play much last season. He won't play much this if he gives the ball away like that in a Merseyside derby. Baroš taking Everton on. Perfectly timed tackle by Stubbs. Ball stayed in for Diouf though. Simonsen going back and did strike Pistone, but the ball had crossed the line.
This is good tackling. It's a positive run. I always like to see players prepared to take people on. He knew he was on his own. No real tricks here. Just drives straight at the heart of Everton's defence. It's a good tackle though. Again, it's one you've got to time right.
Typical of Baroš though, isn't it? He is a very direct player. By Hyypiä, Šmicer. A ricochet that Gérard didn't want. Linderoth. Pembridge trying to steer it down the channel. It comes off Finnan. And it came to Gary Naysmith on his weaker side.
Pity. He hasn't really played wide at all, Gary Naysmith. He's been very, very narrow in that left-hand side. You can see he didn't look comfortable striking that. It's half a chance.
It's almost as if they're saying to Liverpool, well, you go round the outsides if you want, but we know you're not a naturally wide team.
I think the other side of it, good width. Pistone and particularly Steve Watson have kept it quite wide on the right-hand side. Watson has given them width, but there's been very, very little of that on this near side here with David Unsworth and Gary Naysmith. They've been tucked in. Certainly Naysmith's been tucked right infield.
Pembridge. Every ball in these fixtures fiercely contested. And a shot by Kewell. Offering again a positive note for Liverpool.
Good little link-up. There was nothing wrong with the build-up play, and look at the space that he was able to drive into, Harry Kewell. Again, that's been disappointment of the day, has been the actual shooting power of the teams. It's not been great.
Liverpool are looking for the first win, you know all about that, but perhaps you wouldn't realise they're one of 9 teams in the Premiership at this moment. They haven't won a game as yet in the league. Kewell. Well, it's a fixture that was a Premiership match in the early years of the Premier League. Division 1 in these days, but I'm sure well worth watching. You can see it on Sky Sports Extra today, 5:30. Woods is the goalkeeping coach at Everton. It was he who gave Richard Wright his fitness check this morning. As I mentioned earlier, it was pretty short. And Wright very disappointed. He has had to miss out today. Watson. That's here for Gérard, still doing most of his work in Liverpool's own half.
He's playing like Didi Hamann, isn't he, Mark, today?
Well, of course they are missing Hamann. majority of the play so far. Stubbs strikes a good long pass. Challenging Carragher in the air, Pistone backing up. Hyypiä is in quickly. Neither side able to retain possession for particularly long periods. That's often a feature of this fixture.
I think scrappy would be the word to use to describe the opening half hour of the game. Hasn't really flowed at all. Sometimes these games are like that for the players and staff and the fans. The only thing that matters in this fixture really is who's won it at the end of the day, because that's all they'll be talking about. That's why sometimes it can be a grind.
Hyypiä felt he had to play it. He just turns and checks with Dudek whether there was a call there that he didn't hear, or whether there was a moment of indecision from the goalkeeper.
I think the latter. I think it was there to call for a nice crisp and early.
Everton really packing the goal area in front of Dudek. It's knocked away by Igor Bišćan.
Good challenge from Steve Finnan. That Pistone was the one that was arrowed at. Finnan got a good clearing header on it.
On by the versatile Watson. Diouf. And maybe Liverpool can break here. They're going to get a free kick. Found by Linderoth. Well, so far a game of fine margins. Maybe it will take a set play to gain an opening goal. Not one like that.
It's been symptomatic of the attempts at goal, haven't they? They haven't been great at all, even when, like, Naysmith has been hitting the target. It's been pretty poor stuff. It can't be yawning, surely, young man. Goodness me, first time in TV, Merseyside derby, and he's caught yawning.
It's the tension of being on the Everton bench. It's only 19. He's the backup goalkeeper today. Paul Gérard incidentally out on loan to Sheffield United. So Iain Turner, from south from Stirling Albion in Scotland. Got a bit of a bang from the powerful frame of Unsworth. Diouf. Carragher. Owen. Well, luckily for Kuehl, and then nearly from the wrong side by Watson. Mike Riley seeing that as a bit of dissent, kicking the ball away, delaying the taking of the free kick. Whatever, it's a yellow card for Watson to add to the one inside the opening couple of minutes from the other wide midfield player, before the other wide midfield player, Naysmith. And also brings the ball right to the edge of the penalty area. With that encouraged maybe Steven Gérard to try his luck and fire it goalwards. And seeing it coming all the way was Mark Pembridge. Carragher's throw. Hyypiä heads on, away by Unsworth. It drops over Gérard. Rooney Looking for Radzinski as he was challenged. That's why the crowd are roaring. Mike Riley falls over. That's why the crowd are increasing their roar.
I think
undignified.
Everton think at the moment that one or two decisions are going against them. Nothing serious from their point of view, but just one or two. David Moyes really annoyed.
There was a big reaction from the Liverpool dugout as well. Gérard, Houllier and Phil Thompson stepping forward into the referee's line of vision. Maybe feeling that some of the tackles are a bit stern. Everton are getting penalised for Baroš. Shows if Yobo, got there the first time, but the second challenge was late.
Yeah, I see Alan Stubbs is over. There's complaining it was overreaction. That one or two of the same type of tackles. That's a free kick. I don't know how we can have an argument about that, but one or two of the others that maybe they feel that should be going Everton's way haven't been.
It's quite similar to the position that Gérard had a couple of minutes ago, but he's nowhere near it, being left for Kuhl this time.
And Gérard's just taken a position just 30 yards from goal.
And it comes for Šmicer, who mishits. Now it's Gérard. Everton might be able to spring forward here. Rooney.
Nearly. You see what he was trying to do. Just get stuck under his feet as he was trying to play the pass, had to dig it out.
On the subject of refereeing, of course, David Moyes had his say on Tuesday after Rooney had picked up the 10th yellow card of his short career. He's had more bookings than he scored goals. But the referees might just be picking on him. That was the suggestion from the Everton manager. They certainly know all about him. I think that's a difficulty that Rooney will have to live with, not just on the football pitch, but off it as well. He's a young man with a reputation. Well, it's continuing on a bitty theme at the moment, this game. And it's not the first Merseyside derby down the years to have been like this. It's not easy for the referee. Yobo with the free kick. Naysmith made it his against Finnan, who should wind himself up for a clearance here. He's being challenged by Rooney. That's the sort of challenge that has got Rooney into trouble in his short career.
He's 17, Martin. He's bound to get a little excited at times. It's the white hot heat of a derby as well. And he just come out the back at Steve Finnan. I mean, he is a powerful young man. And I say man, because that's what he is.
I don't mean this as an insult to Everton, but it might suit them, the bitty nature of the game. They've not allowed Liverpool to get into any real passing rhythm, and that's the response of a team with a good attitude, and you know really what you're going to get from David Moyes' men. Diouf. Kuhl. Saw Owen, couldn't find him, not the first time nor the second. Here's Šmicer. Back to Gérard. Once or twice now has got within closer range for the power that he's got when shooting with his right foot. Carragher. Baroš. His touch really took him into the pitch congested with Everton players, but he kept the ball for Liverpool, which was always the essence of their great teams in the 70s and 80s.
And this is the best piece of possession we've seen in the match so far.
Diouf. It's Unsworth. Still Diouf. Oh, and Unsworth's got to be careful. Everton have given away 3 penalties already this season. And Unsworth was straining and on the ground in the end as the ball was rolling away from him.
Well, he's been one of the liveliest. Hadji Diouf has had more of the ball than most. Probably hasn't done enough with it. And going back to what you were saying, Martin, yeah, I think it would suit Everton for this game to be bitty. If you look at the quartet of midfield players on both sides, if you're looking for creativity, if you're being honest, you would have to say the 4 in red probably offer more in that department.
One of whom is Harry Kuhl. Owen, he'll get there first.
He will score via the post. Liverpool's first goal of the season from open play. And Micheal Owen has got it. The only player who's scored a goal for them so far this season, that twice-taken penalty against Chelsea. Everton 0, Liverpool 1.
Well, it's just, he almost loses it. And look at the way they work the ball. You talked about it, playing the ball around, and Harry Kewell gets involved here, but he overruns it slightly. But he manages to just toe poke it. By the ball getting away from him, Martin, it sucked out Yobo. Pistone was slow to realise. You watch Pistone, he's watching Owen, he's far too slow to react. And you can't give Micheal Owen that kind of time and space, even on his left foot. Coolly done, far corner.
The son of a former Everton player has given Liverpool the lead at Goodison Park. Such are the intertwining storylines of Merseyside derbies. Bišćan. And what a tonic for Gérard Houllier's team, so close to half-time. This is a good ground for them. 3 successive wins, and Owen has scored now in 3 successive games at Goodison for Liverpool.
I mean, you'd have to say, although it's been a pretty scrappy first half, that Liverpool have been the better side during it.
Baroš. Still going. He'll reach Diouf. Cheeky flick for Finnan.
Well, Everton's job now is not to concede a second mark, because Liverpool do sense that there might be something on.
Šmicer. Back with Diouf again. Turns Unsworth. Finnan. Nicely taken by Šmicer, past Pembridge. Carragher. Kewell's gone to the left, so does the ball. Owen and Baroš in the middle. And Kewell gets it across, a little bit long, but it's still with the team in red. Diouf, there's a slip by Naysmith that Diouf didn't quite recognise. Eyes down on the ball. Radzinski and Rooney. He's got Watson galloping up on the right-hand side as Rooney goes at Liverpool and then releases Watson. It's Steve Watson, it's Wayne Rooney, and it's a very important block by Jerzy Dudek. And suddenly it's the counter-attack with Owen. Everton has stretched here, and Owen can't get it past Simonsen a second time.
Well, suddenly this game's come to life, and it's because of the way Liverpool have played, Mark. But this is a wonderful break and super football. And he just gets away from him, I think, at the last minute. He just ends up toe-poking at Wayne Rooney. He never really had control. Could have used Radzinski. Owen trying to use the defender, Yobo, to bend it into the far corner. It's a pretty good save from Simonsen.
But what maturity in the build-up play through Wayne Rooney. Football is so much about decision-making, and the percentage of right decisions from him is, well, it's almost outrageously high for one so young. And here's Kewell. And Simonsen's worked again. And after 35 tense minutes of tackles flying in and the ball being given away, there's a real flow to the football now at Goodison Park.
Fabulous effort. It's a good save, but it's right above Steve Simonsen. You can see he just wanted to send that a little wider, Harry Kewell. I think on his left foot he probably would have done so.
Simonsen warming to his task, with his team a trailing.
The goal time, 38 minutes, 18 seconds, 38-1, 38-18 the goal time.
Would have been a free header for Hyypiä.
Just a bit.
Radzinski. Good challenge by Gérard. It was one that was needed. Diouf. Carragher. Like a good number of Liverpool players down the years grew up supporting Everton. Pembridge, and Rooney just switched off his concentration for a moment.
It's a pity you don't want half-time now, do you? You know, as you say, 35, 36 minutes, uninspiring stuff, a lot of it. Suddenly the game's come to life and we'll be delighted. Well, the neutrals would want this to keep going now.
Alan Irvine, alongside David Moyes, is a very strong Scottish influence at Everton Football Club. Linderoth. It would have been more if he could have got Barry Ferguson, who has opted for another Scottish manager in England, Graham Souness. Everton have been looking high and low to strengthen their squad prior to the end of the transfer window. There's not a lot of money with which to attract players. Carragher. Ball dropped Everton's way, but Mike Riley's decided to give the home side the free kick and give them the chance to put the ball into that Liverpool penalty area before half-time. Stubbs makes his way forward. Yobo as well. Unsworth has stayed back. For Liverpool not to let this lead slip before half-time. Watson, Yobo. Touch there by Naysmith, and it could easily have been 1-1. A better drive from a dropping ball by Yobo, and it would have been 1-1.
I'm not sure if a free kick's been given here. But certainly it's very close to Naysmith getting something on this. They don't quite get rid of it. They do enough to keep the pressure on Everton here. Might have been a free kick for arm up or offside even against young Wayne Rooney.
Certainly being restarted as a free kick for Liverpool in added time before half-time. At a time of need for Liverpool, Micheal Owen has come up trumps again. Liverpool lead. Everton have had their moments. There have been some impressive contributions from Rooney and a chance that might have levelled it at 1-1. It was a scrappy game for much of the first half, but the latter periods of it, including the goal, have whetted the appetite for the second period. At half-time, Everton 0, Liverpool 1.
Radzinski and Rooney are onto him.
In our interview beforehand, we were hearing from Micheal Owen. He was saying he didn't get enough chances. Well, he hasn't had many, but he's put them away. But Everton, as you say, men like Stubbs are going to have to keep him close and watch him, aren't they? Because Kewell is making space.
Yeah, well, Mike's had 2 chances there and scored 1, and hit the target with the other. So we've said it, if you give him chances, Micheal will score. And Everton have got to be very, very careful of him again this half.
Radzinski, that is the man on player cam for the next 15 minutes. Press your red button on your remote for our interactive service. There's fan zone there as well. It's Everton against Liverpool in the Merseyside derby at Goodison Park. Second half commentary from Andy Gray and Martin Tyler.
Thanks, Ian. Second half action from Thomas Graveson, who's come on for David Unsworth. Everton collected 21 points on this ground last season in matches in which they were losing at some point. So it's almost a classic David Moyes scenario. He's had his stirring words. Liverpool start the second half, a goal to the good.
It looks as though they'll still be narrow on that left side. I don't know whether Gary Naysmith will be told to get forward a lot more than David Unsworth did, but I would have thought that maybe Pembridge moving left with natural left footer mark and Graveson in the centre. But Graveson's left side, Pembridge is where he started the game. I think it'll be up to Naysmith really to provide any width they're going to get high up the pitch.
Rooney. Exactly what he wanted to do and had the technique to deliver it, but Watson has just chested the ball into a Carragher challenge. Pistone. Moving out by Bišćan. Ferguson more central now. Balked by Šmicer.
I think that's what Graveson wants to do. You see even there, man, he's sucked across. He wants to play in the centre. He's got a thumping shot in him, Tomasz Graveson, as well. It's something that he's not going to use too much of his left side.
That thumping shot's not going to be involved in this free kick, which favours a left footer. Pembridge struck one not too far away early in the first half.
Might be the right foot around the wall
From Stubbs.
Hadji Diouf just come in just at the last minute, Martin, to block it off. I thought there was a little gap there.
It is set up for Pembridge. And Dudek's dropped it. Yobo's there, Radzinski was there. And Liverpool breathe a huge sigh of relief.
He's down injured. He got away with this. Jerzy Dudek could have gone anywhere. He doesn't really get behind it at all. Well, he gets behind it, but doesn't really control it. He should be plucking that out the air. He's under good pressure from Radzinski, but that's what you call good defending. He senses a little bit of danger, Sami Hyypiä. Should be collecting that, Dudek. But when he doesn't, he does all right there. Maybe a free kick might have been given, Martin. People will argue he had both hands on the ball, but Hyypiä in, clearing it up. And I think this is sensible goalkeeping. I'm not so sure there's too much wrong with Jerzy Dudek, but it makes sense to just say, well, I'll just take a little breather, clear my head.
Chris Kirkland lost his place through injury, of course, back in January. Watching with interest. Skimmed in towards Stubbs. Swatted by Gérard. Naysmith, you remember, was booked very early in the game. He's got to be careful now. He's playing in the back line about his challenging.
Especially if Diouf gets as much of the ball as he had first half.
Of course, Everton did finish this fixture in April with 9 men, and Naysmith was one of those players sent off. David Weir the other, and Weir's not got back in the team from that subsequent suspension. He is a substitute today. A little bit of over-aggression from Baroš. Pistone. There was a deflection on that Pembridge free kick, but still got the impression that Dudek was almost posing for the cameras with the showiness of the save.
Clear look at it, wasn't it? I mean, it was a clear look at it. The deflection took a bit of pace off it. It was at a nice height for him. He must have been thinking when he spilt it, oh, please, not again. Remember against Manchester United last year, where it all started for him. Or was it Middlesbrough? He dropped that cross and Gareth Southgate poked the ball in.
And that was Liverpool's first defeat of the season, and it came in their 13th game. They absolutely roared into the last campaign. They haven't done that this time, but they're roaring into the attack with Šmicer, parried by Simonsen. And it hasn't gone behind for the corner. Linderoth has seen to that. It was an incisive piece of play by Liverpool, the sort of which we were seeing from them in the 10 minutes before half-time.
Great joining up from Šmicer. That's a fantastic strike. The only thing he did wrong is he had it too clean. You know, if he puts a little bit of cut on the ball, somewhere Martin that goes past the goalkeeper. Look, it's great joining up. They get caught in midfield. Mark Pembridge trying to get back, but he doesn't get there. And it's a great strike. Probably too good.
Slip by Pistone, allowed Fuel to get there, but he got there with a foot raised.
He's a bit unlucky. I think the ball checked, you know, on his way. And it could have just as easily been Harry Kewell lying on the ground. It just checks and the spin, and it's up there. And he's, you know, either one of them could have been booked to come off second best man. They both go for the ball. I don't think there's a doubt about that. Harry Kewell doesn't leave his foot up in there.
We had a walk on the pitch, Andy, didn't we, before the game?
Yeah.
And groundsmen do like to keep the grass just a tad long at this stage of the season. You can't blame them for that. Maybe that was a factor as well.
Yeah, I think when you see it full speed, man, you can see what there it is. The ball's there, up they both go. That's how quick it is. And that's why I say I think he's a little unlucky, Harry Kewell.
And what that replay didn't show was the slip by Pistone, which meant he was half a stride late getting there, which brought the contact on. Mick Rathbone, the physio. Had a lot of injury problems in his time in English football, particularly as an Everton player, previously with Newcastle, of course. Played very well in the Merseyside derby that we brought you from Anfield last season, in which Everton got a creditable draw. Watson. That was very acutely done by Gérard, spinning it out to Micheal. There's Baroš again. Might have tricked Yobo here. Milan Baroš for Liverpool. Owen wanting to be teed up, and Micheal Owen steers it in. And Liverpool have two. Owen has two. Either side of half-time. They possibly here have ripped the heart out of Everton.
Well, if you're Liverpool, you say brilliant Baroš, you did everything right. Top striking that was, setting up your mate. If you're Everton, you say Joseph Yobo, you've got to do better. If you're a top quality defender, you've got to be stronger than that. You've got to do better than that. But give Baroš a lot of credit. He didn't panic when he got in there, Martin. He knew where Owen was. Micheal Owen just checked. Didn't get involved. There he is. Give me it. Give me it. And he just slots it in quite coolly through the legs of Stubbs. And Simonsen this time has no chance.
It's a little side foot pass into the back of the net from Micheal Owen. Saw the gap. And a little bit of gentle complaining when he spoke to Jeff Shreves yesterday about not getting any opportunities. Well, first through Micheal and now through Baroš. Two chances, 2 goals for Owen.
Well, he could have 3, couldn't he? Made that other good chance right at the end of the first half when Simonsen made a good save from him.
142 goals he's got for Liverpool now, and Andy, 74 of them in away games, which well, tells you a lot about his talent. Maybe a little bit about how Liverpool play on the counter-attack.
Well, he's built for that, isn't he? He's built to strike at the heart of defences.
Finnan, yellow card. And because the card has been shown, that Mike Riley can move it forward as he did to Liverpool's advantage in the first half. Naysmith. Well, that comeback quality of Everton is really going to be stretched here, isn't it? Because 1 down is one thing, 2 down to a Liverpool side that have kept 2 consecutive clean sheets. At Villa and at home to Tottenham. Oh, what a save by Dudek. What a save. Critical of him. Well, that's a couple of minutes ago.
Pure instinct. When he just steps off the line, he gets the header. He must think he's about to wheel away in celebration. What a brilliant instinctive save that was from Dudek.
Such an important time, with Liverpool having just stretched their lead to 2. This time Gérard in front of Watson. Gets it away, quick thinking by Graveson at the throw. Back goes Dudek, and the ball's in the net. But it's not going to count for Rooney. A little skirmish there.
The only thing I can think of is that he got, when he was backing into him, Wayne Rooney, he's actually stood on his foot. Other than that, it's pretty theatrical from Dudek. I think that must have been what happens. He just backs into him. I mean, you're always going to get a free kick. Doesn't get off the ground. Don't see it. Ah, there it is. He just got caught. I don't think there's any intent in that. But this is a save, Martin. And I tell you what, there's somebody out there in a red shirt mighty relieved that his goalkeeper saved him. Might have even been Harry Kewell, Martin, who was marking Wayne Rooney and allowed him a free header. From what? 2 yards, 3 yards?
When you get a touch in where Rooney was, you expect the ball to be bulging the net.
But Everton have got to take a chance now, man. You're right. At 1-0 they could have played and probed and hoped that they get one. How can that linesman flag from away over there? He must be 50 yards away nearly from an incident that happened there. And the referee's only 20.
Not long by Carragher.
I'm going to tell you something, Martin. I cannot believe that Joseph Yobo has watched that ball tower out the air. He stood off Micheal Owen. He's allowed Micheal to pull it down, get control of it, and he's played a bad ball. But that's unbelievable defence.
It's interesting. Yobo played in the World Cup, didn't he? In 3 different positions in 3 games. One was as a central defender, one was wide right midfield, and right back, which is, I think, predominantly where he's played for Everton. And as a central defender, I think it's fair to say he's learning the craft, and lack of experience has certainly been exposed on that second goal and in that incident you just highlighted here.
Well, this is where he's, first of all, he doesn't do enough physically, and then he does have a little slip, but he allows Baroš to drive infield when he should have been staying goal side of Baroš, keeping him wide in the pitch. Finish was comfortable. Micheal, not rushed, knew what he was doing.
On a hat-trick, somebody who knows about hat-tricks for Liverpool against Everton is in full voice, obviously, there, as Ian Rush outlines Liverpool's strong position here.
Yeah, you won't be hearing much from Sharpie on that broadcast now, Martin, I don't think.
Just for the record, 25 goals in Merseyside derbies in 36 games for Liverpool against Everton. Ian Rush, astonishing.
That's phenomenal.
Kevin Ratcliffe in our studio is wincing at the memories. Bišćan. Pistone. Pembridge.
Oh, he's tempted to tackle. It was one of those balls that you call with a hospital ball with a big red X in it.
Especially when it's Jamie Carragher coming in. He's never one to pull out of the chance to get a foot into the ball. Pembridge. Pistone. Watson. Carragher was on the ground. Liverpool need to be on their toes. Everton have a corner. It's been a decent response by David Moyes' men to the conceding of the second goal. Dudek fists away. Percentage ball back by Linderoth, and it wasn't a very good one.
Well, this is the save, is how it happened. Look how quickly this ball arrives at Dudek. There's the header. Look at that, sheer instinct. When you do need a little bit of luck when you make a save like that, because you just throw your hands up and hope it hits them.
Here goes Rooney now. Liverpool lost concentration, and Sami Hyypiä is laying down the law to Igor Bišćan as David Moyes looks on in real disappointment at this.
Well, it's been a tale of two frontmen, isn't it, Martin? The present and probably the future of England. Micheal Owen, 2 out of 3 chances. This young lad, nothing out of 2. Good chance first half, and that's a lovely chance. He's a lovely striker of the ball, Wayne Rooney. Either foot, and I'm really surprised he dragged that one by.
That's the first one he's put off target. Owen. Crossing on the run. Stubbs.
Not deliberate. Not deliberate, in the referee's opinion.
And by the tone of your voice, in your opinion as well.
I think so. I mean, a real dodgy thing to try deliberately.
Naysmith. Long from Hyypiä. Backing in by Baroš. No, Šmicer sweeps it sweetly to the feet of Owen, who looks for the hat-trick, and is denied by the fingertips of Simonsen.
Well, much like Kewell's in the first half, it's too near Simonsen. He's always going to do this, and that, I just think defenders would know that Micheal Owen's always going to look to get onto his right foot. But they don't keep him this side, Martin. Look, they allow him to go inside. If he gets the top corner, Michael's wheeling away, celebrating a hat-trick.
Great vision by Šmicer to whip the ball into Owen's feet. And a really in-form, hungry Micheal Owen now. Bišćan, neither one thing or the other, not on target and not sliding away to where Baroš might have been able to put it in the net.
That's a good climb. It's just doesn't get enough on it. He's under enough pressure though, two Everton players. I just wonder, I mean, you and I were at Liverpool-Chelsea when Gérard Houllier interviewed prior to the game, emphatically stating that Harry Kewell is not a wide player. And here we're seeing probably Harry's most productive game for Liverpool. Liverpool, without doubt, I would think the best performance since the last 20-30 minutes of this game.
It's being threatened though by Radzinski now and by Watson.
Well, there's a lot made of Steve Finnan signing regarding Jamie Carragher, but that's what Carragher's fantastic at. He is a defender, no doubt about that.
Hammering away though, and that might well be a free kick in favour of Dudek.
Well, Steve Watson saying he just took a position and didn't move, and it's not up to him to get out of the way. And does he block him, or does he just take a position? I don't think he does a lot wrong. Dudek just makes a hash of it, to be honest.
Radzinski. It's a good season for Šmicer, whose contract runs out at the end of it, and he needs to impress, I think. One or two in that category in Gérard Houllier's big squad. Bišćan would be another.
Yeah. Well, he's done all right today, Bišćan, I think. That'll be a free kick.
Šmicer hasn't delivered his goals himself. He didn't score at all in the Premiership last season. He's had a good effort here in the second half. Just sometimes looks a bit lightweight in the games that have a lot of hurly-burly about them, which, of course, this fixture usually comes into that category. There's been much more football played in the middle third of it. It's produced both goals and plenty of chances at both ends. Yes, I know what I've just said, Anne. The curse of the commentator again. But on a general point, I hope you'd agree
exactly
with me.
what you mean.
Blackham, Steven Gérard. Well, Sky Digital viewers, important influence you feel in this last third of the game. Penalised Baroš on a number of occasions, and for persistent infringement, Milan Baroš gets a yellow card. I know it's a different world, but I'd like to show Mike Riley some of the tapes of earlier Merseyside derbies when nobody got their name taken, before yellow and red cards were invented. Rooney. Watson didn't quite run for him to strike first time, and Jamie Carragher again was a strong force defensively for Liverpool. Baroš clearly feels he can get the better of Yobo. Rooney, only one to try and find. Radzinski. Plenty of Everton appeals, mostly from the crowd, not too many of the players burning the ears of referee Riley. Finnan feels that was handball by Graveson. And the referee was given it in the end, maybe. 125th year of Everton Football Club. It's a very proud history. 50 consecutive seasons in the top division, and the Arsenal have a better record than that. We'll have to go back to their championship winning season 86-87 to find a campaign where they finished above Liverpool in the table.
It looks like Liverpool might be making a change. Gérard Houllier just talking to Emile Heskey. But you would think that it's the home side who desperately need to make one.
They've got a couple of strikers, haven't they? Duncan Ferguson, who's short of games because of suspension. Chadwick, come through the ranks here. 2 of them there.
Well, they all went in there, I think. Stubbs thought he'd made a mess of that back pass. They all went in to defend the corner, but neither official obviously saw it.
Paul Thompson just spelling it out for Emile Heskey. Liverpool can complain that Mike Riley's been influenced by the home support.
Oh, absolutely not. No.
His chance at power in the air, useful again. Really trying his luck on the left-hand side. And one by Naysmith, bravely by Finnan. Danny Murphy, who I'm sure is bitterly disappointed to have been left out of the starting 11 for a second game in a row. Looks, as was the case against Spurs on Wednesday, as though he's going to be brought on. Graveson. Diouf working back very well and holding off Pembridge. Not sure, Andy, we expected Diouf to be brought into the English game to do this sort of fetching and carrying. Came with a reputation as an attacker from French football and the World Cup as well. But he's got a good appetite for work. He's only scored once in his last 30 Premiership games, so it's just as well that he is doing the work.
Yeah, he's only 22 now. He's, you know, young and new, still new relatively to this league. I think he's done all right today. I mean, his final ball might have been a little better, his use of it.
Baroš, back to Gérard. Carragher, into Baroš again. Makes it difficult for defenders who don't like attackers who run at them with the ball. Didn't get so far, Milan Baroš that time. Carragher. Owen thought he could let it run to Baroš. Put in by Gérard. Owen can't collect it. Radzinski. Here's Diouf again.
Yeah, giving it away too needlessly. It's Everton. I mean, every time they've had possession in the last couple of minutes, they've given it away very easily, and there's no real pressure. They do more with it when they get it.
Pembridge. Naysmith. Radzinski showing down that left-hand side and switching it to Pistone. They get a goal here, really would set up the last 20 minutes from a neutral point of view. Pistone. See Watson heading further and further forward, try and keep his scoring run going. And we're going to get some changes from both managers, I think. Certainly the Liverpool lads look ready.
No, just waiting. Everyone putting it on hold.
Waiting for Dermot Gallagher to work out how to operate that electronic board that seems to be the scourge of the fourth officials these days. Graveson. And Linderoth found some space here, and he's found a good cross too. It's another chance for Everton. It's another chance for Wayne Rooney.
It is. And this will be the talk of the town. It'll be the two strikers who have had the majority of the chances between them. And Owen's come up trumps with a couple. And Rooney's now 4 good chances and 4 misses.
Well, it's midfield player Linderoth, who is replaced by a striker. Ferguson indicates it's like 3 up, yeah. Restricts Watson a little bit, but
I don't think it will. No, I think Steve Watson's going to take a gamble any time he can, even if there's only 3 in midfield. He has to.
Rooney. Helped on cleverly by Radzinski. Graveson. Again, Diouf is there protecting his side of the pitch.
so sure what Gary Naysmith's run was there, running in field, Martin, into no man's land. He'd much better go on the outside of Graveson, give him something.
Lucky Everton to find Liverpool fouling through Šmicer. So Duncan Ferguson with a chance to get his first header in, but it wasn't actually angled for him. Dropping for Rooney. Cleared by Šmicer. Very well taken down by Baroš. That'll do for Liverpool. We have one eye on the clock here. Is he going to be one of those taken off? Yeah, the number 5 is up. Milan Baroš, who set up Micheal Owen's second. He gets a handshake. Heskey fit again after injury, kept him off Gérard Houllier's team sheet against Tottenham on Wednesday. And the other change is Murphy for Šmicer. What do you make of Danny Murphy's omission?
As surprised as a boys should he? I think he's got a fantastic record, I think, against Everton. He normally plays very well in these games. He's a good footballer, but the manager's paid to make these decisions. He feels he's not up to it just yet, and he has to pick someone else. You know, it's up to Danny to say, right, I'll prove you wrong.
Just a little bit high by Carragher. Rooney who took that free kick. A smashing ball, wasn't it?
He'd only been fractionally behind Radzinski. I wondered why he didn't get control of it.
Here's Watson. Here's off Murphy. Wins the throw off Kuehl. Heskey. Gérard with a chance to explore parts of the pitch further forward. Diouf. Decisively away by Yobo. Clipped back by Kuehl, and Heskey brings a different dimension.
Well, it was very quick when the free kick was given, Mark. He just put the ball down and he just pings us. Again, defenders stepping out, and they shouldn't. Got away with it though.
Ferguson can do, of course. Duncan Ferguson made his first Everton debut in a Merseyside derby in front of our cameras and scored. It was getting on for 9 years ago. Uses himself again, the Scot. Radzinski can run from wider positions, and he's very capable of doing that.
Brilliant, Steven Gérard. Absolutely top draw there.
Heskey trying to turn away from Naysmith, who's got to be careful, having been booked. It's a good ball from Heskey.
That's unlike Murphy, isn't it?
And Gérard on the stretch. It was an ambitious lunge for the ball. Didn't quite work out for him. And here comes Rooney. And Gérard brings him down. Fraternal reaction to Scousers, despite the great divide between them in this particular football match.
There's still plenty of time in this game. I don't think Liverpool are playing with that amount of confidence, Martin, that, you know, should they concede a goal, you just get the nerves jangling slightly. And that's what Everton have to bank on, that they can get one back.
And this is a chance to do just that. Oh, from Ferguson, so unlucky. And here's Rooney. And some big moments in this match have gone Liverpool's way.
Absolutely. And you're right there. The save from Dudek, from Rooney's header. And now a fantastic free kick. And I mean a fantastic free. Brilliantly taken. Brilliant disguise on it, because I don't think anyone knew who was going to take it. Everyone's looking at Stubbs. And Stubbs scores, but then Duncan steps up and, oh, it's a magnificent effort. Dudek just waved it goodbye. He's turning around to pick this out the net. And that's how close Everton are to been back in the game.
I tend to forget with Duncan Ferguson that he's got a very good left foot. I know all about the aerial strength and the fiery nature that keeps him out of football from time to time, as he was missing games this season. He was actually cited by that video panel, an incident here against Aston Villa. He went unpunished on the day. He didn't ultimately get away with Pembridge. Pistone. Hyypiä is there. And steps Pembridge again. Graveson. Everton are going for it. They have to. 2-0 down on their own ground. And the fixture. They don't want to be in such a position.
They had a chance, Pistone. Allowed it to bounce twice.
Well, the crowd are yelling because they've seen Steven Gerrard boot the ball upfield when most people in the ground recognised that it had gone out. But Mike Riley couldn't be sure that Steven Gerrard knew. Well, the player cam is now following a player who's on a hat-trick.
Liverpool would want to be more in control of the game than they are. That sounds daft at 2-0 up, but I mean possession-wise, they're not quite able at the moment to dictate the play.
Heskey heads on.
You know, they'd like to be popping passes about Mark and making Everton work to get the ball back. But Everton, I think, have still got a chance. It's still open enough, the game.
Well, from a very unpromising beginning, it's turned out to be an engrossing match. Heskey. Finnan. Add to this, of course, what it means to the Liverpool camp. Managers had to deal with a fair amount of flack. It would be a very good answer to some critics for Monsieur Houllier. But it's not in the bag yet. Diouf. Forward by Yobo. Here comes out on top and then drills it into Micheal Owen's feet. It's a ball that strikers love to receive, and then Owen left a little bit of contact there on an uncomplaining Stubbs.
I think Alan knew what he was doing there. He was, as soon as he felt the body weight of Micheal Owen, light as it might be, Martin, he was going over, because he was going nowhere. The ball was bouncing awkwardly for him.
Diouf and Gérard play their way around Ferguson. And Simonsen, the ball's held up for Micheal Owen. Heskey's in the middle. What's Owen going to do? Is tried to find Heskey, and it's put in by Harry Kewell to score his first Liverpool goal in a Merseyside derby at a time that should really wrap up the 3 points.
Bad judgment for the goalkeeper, but Micheal Owen again playing a huge part in the goal that just clinches it. It's a long, long ball, and you know, that's when he's at his best. Throwing a ball like that, goalkeeper knows he can't tackle him. I thought he'd rather wasted it. And Alan Stubbs gets something on it, but this is what Kewell's all about. Remember I talked about the one first half? It was on his left foot. This is what he can do. This is absolutely beautifully controlled, Martin. He doesn't thrash at it. Look at the control on the shot. He's saying to himself, now make sure I hit the target. Half volley, doesn't whack it, but just drives it into the back of the net.
Key contribution from the newcomer from Leeds United. Remember also his part in the opening goal. It looks like a very happy day for Gérard Houllier and company.
Although Liverpool have been the better footballing side, I don't think anyone can argue about that. Both sides have had probably equal amount of chances, and the big lesson that Everton have learned today is that Liverpool have taken theirs and Everton haven't.
Now all this talk about 1911, which was the last time that Liverpool had not won any of 4 opening games. Oddly enough, that season, the 4th game was away to Everton, and they lost it 2-1. But game 4 of this season, there's a very, very different story to tell, and it's a tough one to take. May not truly reflect the balance of the game, and could be more to come here. Gérard, Simonsen saw it all the way.
So we'll just have a Q play next week, Mark. Oh, you know what I'm saying, though?
Yes.
Boy, not to be a wide player.
But there's wide and wide, isn't there? I guess in
Harry Kewell has played wide for second half, and has had a huge. And Liverpool have played well, good width. I'm sure Rooney will feel exactly the same, but you know, that's Harry left Leeds part of the reason he didn't want to play wide. You know, he's come to Liverpool probably told that he wouldn't be.
And Rooney's just flicked the ball away here. And Mike Riley is probably saying something along the lines, I have no alternative. My assessor will tell everybody that I should produce the yellow card. I'll get marked down for it.
Well, there's been a couple in red shirts that have actually kicked them all away, and nothing's happened, Martin, in that respect. So, I mean, just a bit fussy, Mike Riley, at times, I find.
I just wish the judgment would be allowed to the referee on the day as to whether it's appropriate or not. I know we're looking for consistency, but if you get stopped for going through a speed trap by a policeman, he might say, yes, you're booked. He might say, don't do it again, son.
Would he?
Well, both of those have happened to me.
Oh, you lucky boy. Get your foot off that accelerator.
A lot slower these days.
I'll give the police your registration number later.
Heskey.
It's been a good day for Liverpool. A very, very good day. Half hour of the game that was going really nowhere, a bit scrappy. Micheal Owen's goals changed all that. A good game since then. Liverpool have had a good hour, conceded some chances. You know, you have to be honest, there's been times in the game where, you know, Wayne Rooney might have gotten Everton back into the game.
Well, if that Ferguson free kick goes in,
makes it 2-1.
2-1.
15 minutes to go, you don't know.
Tomorrow, double bill for you. Premiership Plus gives you Southampton against Manchester United at 1:30, channel 433. Sky Sports 1 plays its first visit from the Premiership to the city of Manchester Stadium. Manchester City against Arsenal, and that's at 3. Cleared by Carragher. Liverpool should play all their games at Goodison Park. It was a jarring challenge by Gérard. Of course, got into trouble in a match at Anfield against Everton. There was no pulling out here. With a bit of a 3-0
Kewell and Rooney have locked arms there in the penalty spot, Martin. Not sure what went on there, but all the way I was watching them all the way down the pitch, whether it was anything to do with that incident we seen in Gérard, whether they started having a word with each other, but they were nose to nose all the way down for about 40 yards, having the right chip at each other. Just passionate, I guess.
Passion. It's Micheal Owen. Got one outfield player to take on.
Got to go up. Got to go.
Owen takes on Naysmith, who just gets a piece of the ball. And one player recognised the promise in that break was Igor Bišćan. And with a 3-goal cushion, he allowed himself the luxury of charging up in support of Owen.
Oh, Naysmith is great here. I just felt there was only one thing in Micheal Owen's mind, that was to take him on onto his right side. One more touch there, might have just taken him wide enough for the shot, but a very, very good tackle from Naysmith.
And he was always a little bit more confident going to that natural left-hand side, wasn't he?
Defensively, yeah.
I'm struggling to assess 3-0 as an accurate scoreline on the game. Really, 4-0 would have, I think, definitely been tough on Everton. Liverpool came here today feeling that 0-0 wasn't right against Tottenham on Wednesday, that their performance over 20 shots, they should have won that game, and a lot of the heat in the manager's office, I think, would have disappeared if they had got 3 points against the Spurs. And here comes Diouf. There's a slip by Heskey, that's why he's not going to get that. Owen still hunting by the near post. Can Rooney get there?
Every little thing at the moment, isn't it? The game's been at that little defining moments at the crucial times in games. That's not one of them, obviously, it's late on, but that's an example of how things have gone well for Liverpool today at both ends of the pitch.
Yobo offside. Well, on another day he'd had a couple of goals, and who knows, Everton might have turned it around.
It just doesn't get here, just doesn't get there, and when the ball comes back off him, it could have gone anywhere, could have dropped in front of him. Just happened to drop in front of Sami Hyypiä. And I think this is an important day for Liverpool in particular, Martin. I think it might be a day where they can go on, or they should be going on. You look at the system.
Back by Owen from Heskey's header.
Well, even when it was a bit scrappy first half, we thought they were coming in with the diamond shape, and now they've found a, well, whether they've found a position for this guy on the ball, Harry Kewell. I always felt that, I know he got 14 goals last season, and people point at that, but I just think he gives everything from where he's playing now. He can attack wide, and it doesn't stop him getting balls and going infield.
I think there's too much in the way of labelling systems.
Yeah.
Kewell's natural instincts will take him in all sorts of promising areas for Gérard Houllier and his new teammates. Well, Hadji Diouf has worked really hard for the cause today, and particularly in the parts of the game that weren't too easy on the eye. That opening half an hour, he probably had as many touches as anybody for Gérard Houllier. It's a pretty decent squad, isn't it, when you can bring on Heskey, Murphy and Reset. No problem, says Steve Watson. Had 4 or 5 of those today already. That was the concern for Mike Riley.
I thought he was blowing the whistle out of concern for the head injury, but he's obviously getting a free kick.
Yeah.
Eh?
Well, it looked as though we'd have many more fouls than that. So I'd like to know the breakdown, really, for the first half an hour. There were weren't there, a lot of stoppages, but it's been a game with a genuine flow to it, really, from that point on. Certainly from the moment that Micheal Owen gave Liverpool the lead. It's been a football match rather than a fight between two very close neighbours. Rooney curls it in, and Dudek. Duncan Ferguson is back. Goalkeepers beware.
Well, it used to be one of those early in the game crosses where you go and rough up a goalkeeper. Free kick.
Grudgingly.
Touch and go, I think.
In your day, possibly not. Today, I'm afraid so. 4 added minutes. Finnan.
The only question remaining is, can Micheal Owen get his hat-trick, I guess, Martin? That third goal pretty much sealed it.
Carragher. Gérard. It's turned out to be a Saturday lunch to really savour for Liverpool. Reset got his very first Premiership goal on this ground a couple of years ago. Kewell. Murphy in quickly.
He had more time than he thought, Danny Murphy. I think he felt that his run must have been tracked. It wasn't.
obvious, certainly to Hyypiä and Kuhl.
Oh, keep going, Hyypiä. They kept going. They got on the end of a cross.
Heskey. Gérard.
This is what Liverpool should be doing now. Yeah, a little bit of keep ball.
It's really for the first time some Everton heads rather hanging.
Well, they've kept going. One thing you know about David Moyes' teams is they're not allowed to, even though the game's beyond them. You give it up, still got to work.
Graveson. Naysmith. Kuhl on the right now. And Risa is on. Goals, Kuhl, Gérard, Murphy, Risa across the midfield now. Stubbs. Rather than Evertonian that he is, I feel this more than some in the Everton dressing room. Misplaced the ball there. Murphy got a toe to it. Heskey. Owen's calling for it. Heskey can't find him.
Oh, Michael's eyes must have lit up there. He must have thought, this is it. He wanted to pass as soon as he got it, basically. If he could have got it out his feet. Doesn't really look up. He sees him now, I think, but he has to go past Yobo and isn't able to provide the cross.
Risa. Pistone. Last minute. Ferguson. Radzinski. But Finnan gets it away, and it's another nearly moment for Everton. Pembridge. He's relished the contest since Ferguson's come on. Sami Hyypiä. Oh, Yobo's got a problem here, but he's spared by the final whistle. Liverpool win, and that in itself is a big weight off Gérard Houllier's shoulders. It's a big win too. Micheal Owen, who hasn't had chances, had several today and scored twice either side of half-time. And Gérard Houllier's big summer signing, Harry Kuhl, has chosen this day to slot in his first goal in a red shirt. And Liverpool have the added satisfaction of rising above Everton in the table, 5 points from there.